This is All India Radio, Radioscope, the National Science Magazine program.
This is All India Radio, Radioscope, the National Science Magazine program. My dear listeners, a warm welcome to Radioscope. This program is an initiative of All India Radio to enlighten the listeners on various aspects of science and technology.
This program is a contribution of All India Radio, Hyderabad. This edition of Radioscope contains the latest agricultural research developments in International Crop Research Institution for Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, Hyderabad. India's most of the population depends on agriculture. Today, farmers are facing so many problems in the cultivation of different crops. Due to these problems, the cultivable land has also been drastically reduced, and so many people are migrating from rural areas to urban centers for work. In this context, it is essential to give helping hand to farmers by scientists using technology to reduce the cost of cultivation. Now you'll listen to what kind of agricultural research is going on in ICRISAT to improve the conditions of farmers of Asia and Africa. This will be in the form of a talk by Dr. Dave Hossington, Deputy Director General of International Crop Research Institution for Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, Hyderabad.
We are a not-for-profit, non-political organization that conducts agricultural research for development in Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. We do this with a wide array of partners throughout the world. We're headquartered in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, India, but we also have regional hubs and country offices in countries in Sub-Saharan Africa. We belong to a consortium of centers that are supported by the Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research, or the CGIAR. ICRISAT's mission is to improve 5 important crops: sorghum, millet, chickpea, groundnut, and pigeon pea for smallholder farmers in the semi-arid tropics of Sub-Saharan Africa and Asia. ICRISAT develops improved crop varieties and agricultural management practices for smallholder farmers throughout Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. We develop these products in collaboration with a number of partners around the world, including national programs in many countries in Africa and Asia. And we see that this technology is made available to farmers and that they have the knowledge and the ability to actually use these varieties to improve their production in their fields so that they can have more crops to eat, better nutrition, less hunger, and that they can even have excess that can be sold in a local market to increase their economic gains as well. ICRISAT had a number of success stories, particularly here in India. 3 that I would mention that I think are quite relevant. The first is that working with a number of partners, both in Europe, in the UK, and here in India, we developed an improved pearl millet hybrid. It's termed HHB67 improved. This pearl millet hybrid is a very popular pearl millet variety grown by many smallholder farmers in India, but it succumbs to a very important disease called downy mildew. We were able to improve that using modern technology in a very short period of time and produce a new hybrid with improved resistance and made that available. And through rapid adoption by farmers, we've now been able to circumvent a very important devastating disease that could reduce the production of pearl millet. Another very important success story is our hybrid pigeon pea. Pigeon pea is normally a varietal crop that many farmers grow with relatively low yields. Hybrids are a way to rapidly increase the production of a crop, but most legume species like pigeon pea are not available in hybrids. And so over a number of years with ourselves and national programs here in India, we were able to develop a system to produce hybrid pigeon peas, and we've been able to release that about 3 or 4 years ago. and already farmers are reaping the 30 to 40% increases in yield due to hybrid pigeon pea. And the final success is our work that we do in agronomy, and in particularly in watersheds, where we have a number of successes in developing improved water management to conserve water on farm and on a watershed, and as well to monitor and evaluate the level of soil fertility and provide this information to farmers so that they can purchase the correct fertilizers with the correct nutrients that can actually maximize their production on their farms due to modern varieties. ICRISAT, as I said, works really hard to develop improved varieties. And so many of our varieties are going to have much higher levels of production with built-in resistances to the important diseases and pests that many farmers are always faced with in their production systems. Of course, just being a higher yielding variety is a way to reduce the cost of cultivation, because many of these varieties will use less water and use less nutrients, and less pesticides, insecticides, etc., so that farmers don't have to spend their short amount of cash to actually reap a higher level of production. We're also looking at how we can actually grow many of our crops in combination with other crops, and to actually use no or low till or low tillage operations so that farmers can keep residue on the field that can improve the soil fertility. So we think that all of these really are quite important to help lowering cost of cultivation, to improve the crop management that farmers sell, and to give them the built-in pest and disease resistance already built into the seed so that they can actually reap improved production.
With this, we come to the end of this edition of Radioscope, National Science Magazine program, a presentation of All India Radio, Hyderabad.
You were listening to Radioscope, a National Science Magazine program. Commentary by M. Chetan Swaroop and V. Harika. Assistance by Mr. A. Ramakrishna. Script and produced by Dr. Y. Srinivasulu.
This is All India Radio, Radioscope, the National Science Magazine program.